last week was about people sharing their anecdotes. So today we deliver. You see, I didn't know we could get him, but I'm glad we got him. He is one of the, how should I call him? You can tell me what I should call him, but he's one of the pressure groups, one of the main people, one of the important Nigerians who actually ensured and put pressure on JAM to get them to actually not only listen to parents, listen to the complaints of the students to get us to where we are today. His name is Alex Onyea. Many of you must be following him on Twitter. Alex, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you. It's actually an honor to have you because first and foremost, let me just say, your work is brilliant. Congratulations on actually getting the pressure out there. But I'm going to take you back before we come to this week. Last week, when it came out, it was the headline was, I think it was 1.2 million students scored below 200. It was discussed on this show. And even though I don't have experience with JAM, never done it because I didn't school here, but it didn't matter. I wanted to hear what students and parents had to say. And lots of parents were sending in their anecdotes. Somebody said the system broke down. Somebody said they still can't see their results. Most people were blaming JAM. As of that time, Professor Ishak Oloyede was actually deflecting blame from the institution and directing it towards the parents and the students. So I would like to hear what your opinion was back then, this time last week.
Okay, thank you for the question. When I saw the reports last week, the numbers looked a bit strange to me. I didn't really make any comments. I said, let me observe and study it. I didn't believe that statistics was right. But of course, you can't make claims without your counter statistics. Well, as I'm going through the numbers,
if I may just interrupt you, Alex, I'm asking that. I think your head is too close to the top. Yes, you might need to push your laptop. I think that's better. Yes, that is much better. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes, so when I noticed it, I didn't really say anything. I just suspected that this number doesn't look right. But of course, you can't condemn what you don't have a counter statistics for, right? So when I started looking at some of the statistics that I have, started comparing data sets, started seeing very unusual patterns. Somebody scoring 2 years ago, 281, last year, 311, studying medicine, and then you are looking at 160. Trust me, this is not practicable. And this person is saying, I answered everything and I submitted. I'm expecting like 340 or 360. You are seeing different kind of strange patterns. Somebody that won national mathematics competition is scoring 40 in mathematics. You are seeing a lot of other strange patterns. I said, okay, you know what? I mean, we have educated, a lot of children use it to practice for their exams. I'm seeing the consistency in terms of their practices and their scores. I'm seeing the correlation with the results. Schools are calling in. Schools that have had reputation for the past 30 years. The best student is scoring 160. I just knew that something obviously is wrong. I didn't really know whether it's general. I didn't know. So that was okay. People that wrote on the 24th, 25th, 26th, and the 28th encountered issues. Now I had to say, you know what? Let me hear from the public. When I wrote out, let people fill form, I had 18,000 people fill the form.
Wow.
And when I saw 18,000 people and 18,000 persons having exact same complaint, although I noticed a pattern, Lagos and some Southeast states, I didn't really want to mention about the location, but I mean, the complaints were much. That was when I said, I'm going to go against JAM heads on. We must get to the root of this. There's something absolutely wrong. You are the problem and not the student. Go and investigate your system and let's figure it out.
Excellent. Interesting. So you're going to be able to call once I open up the lines. I know this is not borderlines. This is done for conversations and we usually talk as we go along. But I would like at least 30, 40 minutes to talk with Alex so you all know what to call about on 0201 277 0993, 0201 465 7190. And you can be sending your messages to the WhatsApp 0809-597-5805. We are streaming live. Yes, we're streaming live. This Danfo is going jiggy jaga jiggy jaga jiggy all the way to Jam in Abuja with Alex Onyea as my co-pilot today. We're going to get to the bottom of this, well, as best as we can. So then you got 18,000 responses, which is quite a lot. And then what did you do?
I took the data. I got to my Lego team. We said, okay, first of all, let's demand from the Freedom of Information Act. Let's assume your system is as perfect as you claimed. We need the mark script. We need to see what the students got. They need to be able to see what they answered. And if we found out that you are wrong, we need you to publicly apologize to them. And then you must fix it. And then we also want you to rerun. So when we got it out, they reached out almost immediately. Then, of course, we started the conversation. First of all, privately confirmed to us that there are some gaps. So they had to formally invite us. We came in there. We now did the deep audit, and then we started seeing all the gaps. So the point is, yes, it was through their vendor, one of their vendors, right? And then, of course, then we had to now create like a pathway forward.
Okay.
So that's basically how it happened.
Okay, so the issue was discovered after you, I think the likes of Osita Chijoke, I saw him on a rise, and others actually did a deep dive. So you went on a quest to find out what the problem was, correct?
Exactly.
And then you discovered that. What exactly was the problem? Because here's the thing. Professor Loyede came out, albeit crying, came out and said, yes, it was a system error, etc., etc. But my background, I was a project director. Heck, I was a program director in IT/telecoms. That's how I ended up in this country in the first place, right? And I was that for, 20 something odd years, right? So when somebody says, oh, it was a system error, that's not good enough for the customer. Because the customer, who are the students and the parents, need to know exactly what that system error was. Are you able to tell us exactly what it is?
So I will say it's in a layman's understanding. I actually put out a report, which if you've gone through my X, you can be able to go through that report. It will give you like a more comprehensive view of what exactly that we discovered, right? But on a scale, so they have two different clusters. They have the CAD and the LAC cluster.
Yep.
So the CAD cluster has different northern states and all. Then the LAC cluster is where you have the Lagos and southeastern states, right? So, but what happened is they improved on their security and introduced some updates, right? Which these things came in patches. The team that handles the CAD cluster updated their servers, right? And all the CBT centers on those clusters, right?
What's the second cluster? You said lag cluster and...
We have a CAD cluster and a LAC cluster.
CAD,
C-A-K-A-D.
Okay,
CAD.
right, okay.
Then we have a LAC cluster, L-A-G.
Yeah.
Yes, so that particular cluster, they say they are meant to push in like a patch. That patch, for some reasons, they didn't push in that update, which was a human error, right? And even as at the time the exam was going on, that was even when they didn't push an update. So for some reasons, he didn't even capture it. And they didn't know, because the result pattern was, what we noticed is the first person result looks okay, right? Then the ones under it start looking abnormal. So let's say you want to do random sampling and you are picking the first item in the list and it looked okay, right? So for them, I don't know how they did their own internal analysis and the rest. The long and short of it is, this is, and at a glance, what happened. You get? So why? Based on that, JAMB itself lost complete confidence in the organization that they are working with. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
So that was why a remark was not an option that they are comfortable with. There was an option for remark, but they said, if these people can put them in this mess, they can even put them in more mess, right? So the best thing is, you know what, let's drop these people. Let's use the other people that we've worked with, right, on the other one, and let's retake the exam. which is very painful, but I think that is going to give them a lot more confidence.
Okay, so here's the question that I'm going to ask you, and I know you're not Professor Loyede, but if JAM was in front of me, this is the first place I would come to. Tell me about the experience of the vendor that they awarded this contract to.
I genuinely don't know the vendor. I don't even know the experience, right? So for me, I'm basically giving you like a deep dive of our observations, right? So you can see a lot of nonchalant attitude on the vendor, because even as at the day we even came before the vendor. So they have invited the vendor since Monday. We were there on Tuesday. The vendor came in on Tuesday and we were there, right? I don't even know whether they're afraid to come or something.
Can you tell us the name of the vendor?
No, we can't disclose that information. I think it's for their security reasons. Yes, we're not.
Freedom of information. So, we should know, because public procurement, this is not at you, it's at JAM, right? Public procurement rules states that everything must be tendered in the public, and people, companies apply for it.
I think you can formally write to JAM for that.
Yeah. So why are they keeping it secret? That's one interesting thing. So here's the thing. So they're keeping it secret, so we don't know whether this vendor has actually got experience in such a system, in implementing, let alone upgrading, and what they've done in the past. Now, did JAM mention anything about any sort of due diligence or any report from the vendor's previous customers?
Previous customers
of the vendor.
I didn't hear previous customers, but in terms of due diligence, yes, they mentioned about due diligence and everything. But the point is, we don't know how this due diligence are being carried along.
Indeed.
One of the things I was recommending to them is, especially at this stage, let's do your assessments, but we need a third-party review before publishing, so that we don't repeat the same problem, trying to apologize again to the same audience. So, and going forward, we should introduce a third-party review before you publish. They write the exam, who you want to use for reasons that you prefer, fine. We need to be able to do a third-party review before your own review, so that everything can correlate and match before these things go out, because these results are critical to these children's destinies.
So here's the other thing that I'm picking at your brain now, because like I said, everybody, he's not here to represent JAM. So when you call, calm down, right? I'm just picking at Alex's brain because he clearly understands things in the way that I do. I think there's an to exam. I'm going to you.
So I mean, we'll look at some of it.
Okay. Do we not pass them? You're right. You know where my details from there now too. Okay. Is there any form of single implement? The first you do is right? You create a false environment to actually simulate what's going to happen.
I think they did that, yes. I think they did that. The only thing is, I don't know about their quality assurance process and how strict they are to it. My own point is, you cannot make an update even a month before the exam.
Exactly.
Too late.
It's too late.
So it's something like 2 months before.
Yeah.
Within that period, every form of testing you are doing,
it's null and void.
With software updates.
Yeah.
So I think these are part of the recommendations I'm already making.
Okay.
It is wrong.
Excellent. Well, I've still got 2 minutes before I go on break, right? So I can still speak to Alex. And after the break, I will open up the lines because I can see some of you are already calling. So here's the thing. So the students went in, they began to do the exam, and literally this upgrade was being implemented. And the system would be, so it would explain, or would that explain those who said the system stopped working whilst I was doing my exam?
Yes, so these are different kind of concerns, right? And I didn't really focus on those ones, right? I honestly, they are not this is critical concerns, to be frank, but the number of people who have these experiences probably are not as near as the general audience who have these issues that we're talking about right now. It is something that they have to look at, right? I mean, in collaboration, because they don't own any of the CBT centers. They're basically partnering with them.
So is it that then the students who were affected by the fact that the system stopped working are not part of the 18,000 and whatever 300 or 1,000?
So the people who are affected as a result of system not working, right? Is it the 18,000? The people that are affected in general, like almost 400,000, right?
Right.
Yeah, so the 18,000 are people who reported to us directly.
Okay.
And this basically happened within 3 days or so.
Okay.
I mean...
Okay, so those who said the system stopped working whilst they were doing their exam would actually fall into that 400,000.
I think they will likely be captured in these receipts. I think they may be captured, especially within the clusters that had issues.
Okay.
I think they may be captured in these receipts.
Okay, when we come back, we're going on a quick break. Alex, please stay with us. I'm loving this conversation. When we come back, I'm going to ask Alex to explain these clusters to us and how they work. We'll be right back.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
For 3 great seasons, the fans have fought with passion and fire. Their best they brought. Bold, the debates were tight. Each word a weapon, each match a full fire. Fan Battle 4 with Femi and the gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The stage is bang. In partnership with Sports Salon, we raise the game with glory, honor, and a shot at fame. Think you've got what it takes to score? Then step right up. It's time for more.
Fan Battle 4 starts Tuesday, June 3rd through July from 7 p.m. weekdays on Nigeria Info.
Fan Battle 4. Let the battle begin.
Every day is about winning one play on Nigeria Info. On Nigeria Info, daily winnings is now over 150,000 naira. Just go to oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3 hash. Play with as little as 500 naira, and in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. The more you play, the better your chances of winning every day on the Morning Crossfire, WhatsApp Lagos, and Game On shows on weekdays, and the Football Frenzy shows on weekends. But that's not all. Every Friday, there will be a 500,000 naira jackpot. Playing during the week automatically qualifies you for the weekly jackpot. Your chances of winning are the same whether you play on oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3 hash. Remember to play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. OnePlay is a registered trademark under Lasho Trading Services Limited, licensed by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission.
For 3 great seasons, the fans have fought with passion and fire. Their best they brought. The banter was bold, the debates were tight. Each word a weapon, each match a fight. But now it's bigger, the stakes much higher. The battle returns and it's full of fire. Fan Battle 4 with Femi and the gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The stage is bang. In partnership with Sports Salon, we raise the game with glory, honor, and a shot at fame. Think you've got what it takes to score? Then step right up. It's time for more.
Fan Battle 4 starts Tuesday, June 3rd through July from 7 p.m. weekdays on Nigeria Info.
Fan Battle 4. Let the battle begin.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Lagos, it's time to turn up. Drinks Fest Lagos is here to set your vibes on fire. 2 incredible days, May the 30th and May the 31st, 2025 at the Landmark Event Center, Victoria Island, Lagos. The Drinks Showcase is happening live. A celebration of drinks, Lagos culture, beautiful people, and good vibes is waiting for you. Get ready for a Drinks Showcase like no other. Live entertainment, music, and festive vibes all round. Plus, you get to meet the masters behind your very favorite sips. Now, what is a drinks showcase without the best in entertainment? Get ready to be entertained by DJ Neptune, DJ KY's Alternate Sounds, DJ Bone Marrow, DJ Beast, GKB Circus characters, Tribe 1 performers, and it will be hosted by the Energy God himself, DO to the TUN, alongside Melody, not MIA. Don't miss out on Lagos's hottest event to kick off the 2025 year. And of course, grab your crew. Get your tickets at tix.africa. That is tix.africa. TIX.Africa. Drinks Fest Lagos is organized by Drinks Fest Lagos and without a box. Go get your tickets at tix.africa. Remember, tix.africa. And follow at Drinks Fest Lagos on Instagram and X. And of course, Drinks Fest Lagos on TikTok and Facebook. That is at Drinks Fest Lagos on TikTok and Facebook for other exciting updates. Drink and enjoy responsibly. Make sure you're above the age of 18 while doing so.
Welcome back to Danfo Conversations, right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back to Danfo Conversations. Today, my co-pilot is an important co-pilot. His name is Alex Onyea. And we're going jiggy jaga jiggy all the way to the. I hope Professor Loyede can feel our jiggy jaga jiggy, and he can see that this jiggy jaga is jiggy jagaing all the way to his office. Alex, welcome. Thank you. I know some of you have started calling. I will be picking up your calls in a couple of minutes. So you mentioned about this lag cluster and CAD cluster. Explain, because one of the things that has come out, or that, how should I say, the offshoot, and it's an ugly offshoot that often happens in our country, is ethnic, rhetorics, anti, etc., etc. Explain to us what a lag cluster is and what a CAD cluster is, please.
As much as I can. So
Yes.
the lag cluster has different states that are assigned to them. Some states that I know for the lag clusters is Lagos and the southeastern states. The CAD clusters has the northern states. That is the way they are able to distribute their systems, right? So based on that is how they have been running this for several years since they started the CBT systems.
So that's the lag system.
Both the lag and the CAD system. That's the same way that they're
So you said it includes the southeast, because I wrote it down.
Lagos and the southeast are on the lag cluster.
Okay. So when we said the southeast, is that all the states in the southeast and Lagos?
Yes, the five states in the southeast.
Okay, what about the southwest, the rest of the southwest then?
I think there are other clusters that handles that as well. These are the ones that are aware of, yeah.
Right, I see. So which is why, 3 states or so was affected in the southeast and Lagos?
No, 5 states in the southeast.
All the states in the southeast.
All the states and Lagos.
Right, and in the CAD cluster?
In the CAD cluster, none of these states were affected.
Okay, and that would be what? The CAD would be what? The north or something?
Yes.
Okay, that's
those north. No school and no students in the north were affected.
Okay, so it's basically, let's just say a south thing. Yes. Right. So which then makes me wonder why. Well, I can sort of see why people think some are suggesting it's something against the southeast. What would you say to that, though?
I didn't hear what you said. No.
Some are suggesting, especially on Twitter, on social media, that this was deliberate against the southeast.
From our findings, this is not from our findings, right? All our logs and findings, there was no deliberation there. It was not deliberate in any way.
Okay.
From our findings, right? Yes. I mean, there can be other things that we don't know from our own findings and reviews from the system. It was not deliberate at all.
Okay. Right. You can call. I'm ready to pick up your call. 0201-277-0993. The female line is 0201-465-7190. And continue to send your WhatsApp. I'm coming to your calls now. Hello. 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 I'm afraid I can't hear you. Sorry. Hello. Hello.
of a couple of decades.
Sorry, can you say that again? We didn't hear you. Hello?
Rabies spread amongst
Can you hear me?
In a district in the northwest.
Can you hear me? Hello? I'm not quite sure what's going on with the system, actually, because I'm picking up your calls and I can't hear you. Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Herbert. I am calling you from Papa, Lagos.
Go ahead, Herbert.
My question is, Robert, not Herbert.
Oh, Norbert. Go ahead.
Okay. My question is that in the last examination, the accreditation was done by 6 a.m. in the morning. So apart from the glitches, what has JAM doing now? Or what have they done to correct that early arrival to examination center? And again, I am of the opinion that JAM should be scrapped, since most universities or institutions of learning after JAM do conduct internal examination for candidates to gain entry into their institution. So what is
the purpose of JAM, since students still have to do the entry?
What is the purpose of JAM when
Thank you.
After writing JAM, then schools, institutions will conduct internal examination for students, for candidates to get proper admission.
Thank you, Norbert. I've heard you. Thank you. Right, Alex, give me 1 second. Let me answer one more call. Hello.
Hello, Cecilia. How are you doing?
I'm very well, Titolokwe. How are you?
Thank you, bro. I'm fine. I'm not fine. Let me say I'm not fine. Simile
Okay.
died. I'm not fine. She committed suicide.
Mm.
Secondary, accessory, JAM was culpable, criminally negligent. Number one, my first approach is there should be nothing like JAM. JAM is unnecessary. Let every university accredited by NUC organizes their own admission into different courses. That's one. Number two, yes, you do not throwing away the baby with the bathwater. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's been doing well for quite some time now because it's different from the people who have had before. But whatever apology he gave on that day, I will never accept until let him go to Timile's house and pay them a condolence visit as a father that he is himself.
Thank
If
you.
he doesn't do that, everything they do is just rubbish.
Thank you very much. And I'll answer one more call and then come to you, Alex. Hello.
Hi,
Can you turn your... Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Oh, good afternoon,
to your
Mrs.
guest,
Oboli.
Mr. Alex. So,
Yes, yes.
Happy belated birthday to him, and profound gratitude to him for all he has been doing, especially as he's at the forefront of this JAM for Labalu. So he has been my favorite personality on the Twitter space recently, not because of this issue of JAM alone, but because of what he's doing with the youth in his hometown, in Enugu State. My question to him this afternoon is, one, Mr. Alex, don't you think Nigerians have given JAM a soft landing because of the tears shed by the professor, which I also view as emotional blackmail? Because people are saying we should leave them because he has cried. The issue now is, at such a short notice, are you telling me that everything, all these anomalies have been rectified? That's one. Are we giving them a soft landing to the best of your knowledge? That's one. Two, I find the statement of JAM, utterly ridiculous. I don't know if he made this statement, but I want to be sure I heard it. Man proposes, God disposes.
Yes, he did say that.
Of this whole shambolic exercise by JAM, whose head has rolled so far. You heard the last caller when he said Timileyin died. This chaos, this depression, this pain, untold hardship. I'll be taking my daughter off to a center tomorrow morning again to rewrite JAM. If I'm bringing all the logistics to the table, my daughter is bringing her own exam prowess to the table. What is JAM bringing to the table? Those who are unable to attempt this visit because they have not been captured, or you think JAM has captured everybody? Well, the answer is no.
Okay.
He told them to take a 3 or 4
I need you to wrap up, Mrs. Oboli. Yeah.
I'm rounding up, ma'am. To take a 3 or 4 step this to lodge their complaints. They've been doing that, and JAM sites, the thing keeps popping up on their system, and they're saying unable to find your details. What is going to happen to those people? What is going to happen?
Sorry. No. I need him to understand. What's going to happen to what people?
So some people were not able. They were not captured in the whole exercise. He's aware of what I'm saying. So he said on his page that they should do a 3 to 4 step thing and log it in and, report to JAMB. He's aware of what I'm saying. You'd ask him soon. Now, I'm saying they keep coming back with the details of unable to find your details.
Oh, I see.
After doing all those things.
I see.
So what is going to happen to those people?
Okay,
and
thank
who
you.
Who knows if this ineptitude has been happening for years? It only came to the limelight now because of this gross mass failure of JAMB. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Oboli. Right, so, Alex,
yes.
I know you're smiling and I know you understand the passion and the upset and the frustration expressed. And of course, I know you are aware it's not at you. It is at the institution called JAMB and indeed the system that they use. So the first question was early accreditation. Are they going to stop that? The second question was from, I think it was Norbert, is what is the point of JAMB if kids still have to do an exam to enter the university? Isn't that just, a repetition? And of course, there's the case of Oluwatimileyin, who incidentally bears the same name as my child, who died, who lived in Ikorodu, she didn't die. She committed suicide as a result of getting below 200. I think it was 196 or something, right? Which she felt was too low. And when we wrap all of that up, especially where Oluwatimileyin is concerned, it's about the importance that's placed on passing JAMB. And like Mrs. Oboli said, the pressure on the children, on the students, and even the states that if you don't pass JAMB, you're a nobody. Do you understand? Those kind of things, I've put it all together for you. You got 2 minutes. And of course, you heard what Mrs. Oboli said. Those who weren't captured, what's going to happen to them? I'll give you 2 minutes to respond to all of those.
Okay, so let me start answering. So regarding the 6:30 a.m. for capturing, right? We had a discussion yesterday and the JAMB PRO was there, and I asked him this question. Why do you want children to come 6:30 a.m. for an exam? He clearly said yes, that honestly speaking, the response made no sense. He said that the 6:30 a.m. is because of the African time, that the exam starts by 8 o'clock. I said, why can't you tell them to come by 8 o'clock? I never see people take exams on serious, in as much as yes, some people may come in late. It is not your business. If a child decides to come late, the child misses the exam and comes back next year. So communicating 6:30 a.m. with the intent for them to come by 8 a.m. is wrong. Say that for next year's JAMB, please, let this be corrected. You can't be exposing children to that kind of risk and insecurity in the system. In your head, you are targeting 8 a.m., but these children are leaving their homes by 4 a.m. The people that are kidnapped that are not known, what happens to them? You can't be keep toiling with these children like that. That is wrong, right? Secondly, the option of receipt. I actually proposed to them that why can't we just remark, since you already have the data, why can't we just remark the system? But they brought out something. JAMB has lost complete confidence on that vendor. So because they are not confident on that vendor, they can't take the risk again, right? This was their response. If I still have an opportunity, I will still always go with the remark because that is easy and that is a lot more efficient for everyone, right? So now, there's another question you asked. Can you say it so that I can
Oluwatimileyin, and the fact that she killed herself. And Titi Lokwe said, until Professor Oloyede actually makes his way to her parents' house to actually face them head on and apologize to them directly, all those tears, and Mrs. Oboli said, these tears is manipulation.
It is critical for Professor Oloyede to go to Timile's family house. It is not even negotiable. It is very important because that little girl took her life because of the inefficiency of their own system. So it is completely their fault. So he has to be able to do that. It is very, very, very important.
But do we know whether he will? Did he say anything to you?
I didn't bring it up to him. I will mention it to them, and I think he will. But I can't vouch for him on any stance or anything. But I think he will. But to have to mention it and then put pressure because he has to do it. It is very important.
Okay. All right. I think I have messages from WhatsApp and Facebook. Gosh, these are long. You guys can't be sending long messages. I mean, like literally, this is down for conversations. We don't even have time. I'm trying to keep Alex for as long as possible. We've got a break in 10 minutes. Yada, yada, yada. What have I got here? Cecile Gay and Alex, yeah, thanks for this elaborate fact-finding. Please, where is JAM rushing to conduct rewrite? When it seems we have not concluded on the investigation. That's from Ayo. The other question I have here is, where is it now? This is so long. Good afternoon to you and Mr. Alex. Commending for what he has done, but it seems JAM only took into account those affected by their glitches, but failed to mention whether or not they rescheduled those who had incomplete questions. Exactly, that's what I was wondering too. Or those who wrote exams in CBT centers where the computers of the students went off abruptly. Indeed, we had some people complain about that last week. Please, what about students with incomplete questions, yada yada yada, power distribution? That's from Chinozo from Aja. And finally, okay, that's fine. You wrote a PS which I don't have time to read. Now that Professor Ishak Oloyede has joined the likes of ex-governor Ayade in public weeping show for their failures or of duty to take responsibility, I recommend the type of profuse weeping from many Tinubu. Look, I can't go into that. That's just too long. That's not for Alex. Alex, please answer that question. The first one was a question about the CBT, etc., those centers.
What did they ask? I didn't even remember.
It was basically about JAM seems to have only taken into account some students.
Oh, yes. So I think there's, so on the JAM portal, I think there is a ticketing system where you can be able to make reports. So as at the conversation yesterday on the space, they assured that they have a dedicated team who are going to be looking at every single ticket raised by any child.
Right.
So if anybody has that concern, they should log into their portal and be able to raise a ticket, make that, report that, and from what they say, they are going to respond as very quickly as possible on your usual response time that people have never seen. But
what Mrs. Oboli is saying is people are not able to actually even put in and raise a ticket, a complaint ticket.
It's already a system for them to make the ticket. I mean, there's already a system set up. So they have to do everything possible to be able to raise that ticket. It's important for them.
But what if they're not able to, is the question.
No, that's why you create systems. It's just like saying you want to fly to America and what if you're not able to get to the airport? Then you don't have to fly. So I think they need to be able to get to the airport to fly.
Yeah, that's
I think the better question should have been, what if they make a report and somebody didn't respond? What I'm saying is, there's already a system they set in place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody should be aware of that system. And JAM should ensure that they respond to people who raise inquiries or raise questions or make complaints. I don't know if you get me. So that is, I mean, I don't work with JAM. I have zero affiliation with them in any way. But based on simple logic, right? If I have a computer or a phone, we won't be having this conversation, right? So if you ask me what are people who doesn't have a phone, then we won't have this conversation. So I think it's important that every single child log into their portal anyhow they can be able to do it and then make those complaints. Since JAM have already assured that they will respond to everyone, I think they should take advantage of that.
Okay. I've got a message here. Cecile Gay, you're looking takeaway. Thank you. On the issues at hand, JAM should be abolished. Schools should be allowed to run entry exams. Besides, a life was lost on that last JAM date. There was a parent looking for her daughter crushed to death to death right in his presence. Her or his, you have to make up your mind, by a running vehicle on Lagos. Wow, I wasn't aware of that. Were you aware of that?
I didn't get it completely.
Well, apparently a parent died, was crushed on Ibadan Expressway whilst on the day their daughter was going to do jam. That why are they having to go to these centers? Why can't schools run the jams?
I don't really know why. I don't think I'm in the best position to answer that.
Of course.
Has the CBT centers, they have partnership with them, and some people writing jam are not even in school. So I don't think every school person writing jam are in school. So if it's like that, you are no more in school. Which school are you going to use? You still have to go somewhere to do that. So I think I'm not in the best position to answer.
But there was a question that Norbert asked earlier. I'm not sure if you answered it. And you can call people on 020127709993, 0201-4657190, or send your WhatsApp to 08095805. I did say to you earlier. And always bear in mind, Alex does not work for Jam. It works for us. He works for the people. He's about the people. So I need you all to calm down. Yes, you can express your frustration, but there will be questions he can't answer. I would love to have Professor Oleyede here, but I doubt he would come. Would you? He's already showed us his tears. Do we believe him? I know where I stand. Anyway, Alex, the lines are going already. There was something that Norbert said earlier, is that if students are having to do another exam to enter university, what then is the point of doing jam?
Honestly, I am not also in the position to answer.
Okay, did you do those two? I don't know how old you are. When you, I'm presuming
the post UTME, right?
Yes.
I did. Yes, I did the jam. I also did the post UTME. Yes.
What do you think as a student?
For me, I mean, the process of even entering the university in Nigeria needs to be completely reviewed.
Yes.
The way it works in different other countries is...
It's totally different.
You apply to the universities you want. They make the decisions based on the criteria that they put up, right? And they pick who they want. This is how it works everywhere, right? I think because Nigeria copies a lot more from American systems, right? American and the British systems too. So let's look at how it works and then maybe we can review it. I mean, JAM was not there from the day they created Nigeria. At some point, there was need for JAM. If tomorrow they say there's no more need for JAM, I mean, it's okay. It depends on what the future requires. I don't have any restriction. Yeah.
And so let me talk to you. I'll tell you about how it works abroad because that's where I went to school. So at this age, you are doing O levels at my time or GCSE as you do today, right? Based on your results, you apply through a clearing system called UCAS. Okay. When you go to UCAS, you basically list the universities you want, the course you want to do, yada, yada, yada. And then you get an offer. So you may want Bradford, Oxford, I don't know, Middlesex, and maybe it's only Middlesex that wants you, right? Because Bradford is saying you don't have all the grades we want. So it's like a clearinghouse where universities, so you might even get 6 offers. Do you understand? Then you have the choice. So it's about that. It's about filling and completing your UCAS form. But before you get UCAS, I jumped actually. You do your GCSE, right? And then you do your A levels, and then you fill in your UCAS for university. That's where it's so simple because children know, okay, my GCSE is like your school certification or whatever. And then from that GCSE, I'm able to say, I want to do these A levels. And even the school can still say, you haven't passed enough to do your A levels. Sure, you understand. And then, from that, you can pass on. I'm sorry, Pips. I'm going to pick up this call. I need you to be very quick. I've got less than a minute. Oh, you dropped. You snooze, you lose. This is Danfo. Okay, there you are again. Hello.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
My name from Lagos.
Okay, go ahead very quickly.
Okay, Alex, thank you for all you do. I follow you on X. I appreciate all you do. And Mama, thank you for bringing this conversation to the fore. The man that cried on TV is a very shameless man. Quickly and straight to the point. He has to throw in the towel right now. No matter the transformational right he has carried out in JAMB, he has to go. And secondly, they have to stop being an income-generating fund source for the federal government. They have to focus, if there will still be jam, they have to focus solely on their purpose, and the fund for registering for jam has to be crashed and subsidized to the lowest minimum amount, because these are kids trying to go into the university. You can't be making them to pay huge sum of money, subjecting them to such a terrible condition, and then you are remitting billions to the federal government. No, you are not created for that.
Thank you very much.
The man has to go. He just has to go, please.
Thank you very much. Oloyede must go is what my last caller said, and other callers have actually expressed the same opinion. I'll give you my opinion, but I'm still in conversation with our wonderful Alex. Is our owner. He works for us. He's like, he's like Mission Impossible. What's the guy in Mission Impossible? Yeah, I'll remember after this break.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
For 3 great seasons, the fans have fought with passion and fire. Their best they brought. The banter was bold, the debates were tight. Each word a weapon, each match a fight. But now it's bigger, the stakes much higher. The battle returns, and it's full of fire. Fan Battle 4 with Femi and the gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The stage is bang. In partnership with Sports Salon, we raise the game with glory, honor, and a shot at fame. Think you've got what it takes to score? Step right up. It's time for more.
Fan Battle 4 starts Tuesday, June 3rd through July from 7 p.m. weekdays on Nigeria Info.
Fan Battle 4. Let the battle begin.
They say truth sets you free. But in a world where news spreads fast and popular narratives shape opinions, how do you separate truth from deception? Introducing Fact or Propaganda, the show that puts the biggest social, political, and media narratives under the microscope.
More than 60% of the population is below the age of 30. A lot of them heading into school. A lot of these young people are not employable.
Every week, we critically analyze narratives shaping our country, separating facts from clever manipulation. Who benefits from these narratives? What's real and what's just propaganda?
Unfortunately, paternity fraud is not a crime in Nigeria. Our laws are silent on this issue.
Join the conversation. Be part of the investigation. Tune in. Join Babatunde Abdusalam every Monday, 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 99.3 Nigeria Info. And let's uncover the truth together. Fact or propaganda. Only on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Don't just believe. Investigate.
One of the biggest football fan festivals in Nigeria is back. It's Go Fest 2025. Come turn up the energy. Go Fest 2025 will also feature exhilarating games, food, and comedy. Come watch the UEFA Champions League finals on a super huge screen. Go Fest 2025 will take place on the 31st of May 2025 at the Balmoral Convention Center, Federal Palace Hotel, Ahmadu Bello Way, Victoria Island, Lagos. Time 12 noon. Limited tickets available. Get your free tickets now at www.gofestnigeria.com. Go Fest 2025 is powered by Femi and the Gang and Football Republic, sponsored by Squadron, proudly refreshed by Pepsi.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
This isn't a Game of Thrones. It's the game of information.
The German foreign minister went to Beijing to reaffirm that Europe would not let China invade Taiwan.
And more information.
Government can't keep taking the fall for your own mess, for your own mistakes.
More information.
We did some work on the Third Mainland Bridge before. Where are there potholes now?
You want to play?
Political way to destroy. Let me tell you.
It's game on. Let the games begin.
on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
This is The Voice Note on 99.3 Nigeria. This is The Voice Note on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
The conqueror writes history. They came, they conquered, and they wrote. Now you don't expect people who came to invade us to write the truth about us. They will always write negative things about us. And they have to do that because they have to justify their invasion in all the countries. It's like saying when the Europeans went to America, there were no Indians there. It's ridiculous because they were there. I know that my people were there. We don't write our history. It has always been handed down to us.
Whether you're listening to your number one talk station or the radio station of the year, they are both one and same. It's 99.3 Nigeria Info. It's 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
The headline news on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Lagos, here are the headlines making the rounds at this time. President Bola Tinubu has officially inducted 2 state-of-the-art Augusta 109 Trekker helicopters into the Nigerian Air Force fleet, while NITDA has launched a new IT center in Akeson, aimed at ensuring underserved communities are not left behind in the digital space. President Bola Tinubu will travel to Rome on Saturday for the inauguration of Pope Leo XIV, the new head of the Catholic Church, while Lagos will host the 2025 edition of Africa's biggest music celebration, the All Africa Music Awards. APC's Publicity Secretary in Lagos, Sheye Oladejo, says Seyi Tinubu has every right to contest any political office if he is politically active. Lagos State Government announces new rules for construction workers across the state. It's also warned landlords and agents once again not to charge more than 10% for tenancy agreement fees, while National Association of Nigerian Students calls for the immediate resignation of Professor Ishaq Oloyede after JAMB admitted to serious errors in this year's UTME results. However, the Lagos State University says it stands firmly with Professor Oloyede, commending his courage and humility during this challenging time. Labour Party's Peter Obi also praises JAMB Registrar Professor Ishaq Oloyede for admitting to the errors in this year's UTME. Nigeria has officially joined the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development to improve access to international financing for local businesses. And at least 10 people have been killed and dozens of cattle rustled in renewed violence in Riyam local government area of Plateau State. Lagos, that's all we have for you for now. It is back to Danfo Conversations with Ireti Bakare-Yusuf. You are listening to 99.3 Nigeria Info, and I am Yvonne Ohaifo. Thank you for your time.
Lagos, I've got something fun for kids, parents, guardians, uncles, aunties, whoever you are. This is for you. The Kids FM Festival 2.0 is back. Get your families ready and let's have some fun with games, music, and so much more. If you missed the first one, don't miss the second edition of the Kids FM Festival, happening June 1st, 2025 at the Balmoral Convention Center, Lagos. Time 12 p.m. sharp. Don't miss the fun. Don't miss the vibes. Bring your friends, brothers, sisters, moms, dads, aunts, and uncles, and let's turn up. It's the Kids FM Festival. Let's make memories that sparkle. Register now at www.kidsfm.ng. One more time, register at www.kidsfm.ng. Let the countdown begin. Sunday, June 1st at Balmoral Convention Center, 12 p.m. prompt. Kids FM Festival 2.0. Family fun. So come, let's play. What's up, Lagos? It's time to turn up. Drinkfest Lagos is coming to set your vibe on fire. fire. Join us on May 30th and May 31st, 2025 at Landmark Event Center, Victoria Island, Lagos. Get ready for a drinks showcase like no other. Live entertainment, music, and festive vibes. Meet the masters behind your favorite sips and indulge in all the best drinks Nigeria has to offer. We've got an incredible lineup. DJ Neptune, DJ KY's, Ultimate Sounds, DJ Bone Marrow, and DJ Beast will keep you dancing all night long. Plus, GKB circus characters and Tribe One performance will have you mesmerized. And hosting the festivities will be the dynamic duo of DO to the TUN, the Energy God, and Melody Not MIA. Don't miss out on the fun. Get your tickets now at https://tix.africa or follow at DrinkFestLag on Instagram and X or DrinkFest Lagos on TikTok and Facebook for all the exciting updates. Remember, DrinkFest Lagos is for 18 plus only. Drink and enjoy responsibly. It's going to be 2 incredible days of drinks, culture, and entertainment. You won't want to miss this. Get your tickets now and join the fun. Let's make this a night to remember. DrinkFest Lagos is coming, and it's going to be lit.
Welcome back to Danfo Conversations, right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back to Danfo Conversations. Yeah, that was quite a long break. I'm still with my guest, Alex Onyea. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it properly, but he will correct me. Just before we went on break, we talked about the system. There had been a very good question from, what's his name, Norbert, and Alex responded, and he agrees that the whole university, the whole system of getting into university in Nigeria also needs to change. Alex, I'll be coming to you in a moment. Let me just answer this call. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
How are you, man?
I'm very well, thank you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Sisioge.
Yes, thank
the
you.
most challenged Sisioge in the world.
Thank
How's
you.
your family? I'm from Ikotun. My name is CA, brother CA.
Okay,
the
brother
most
CA. Go on.
annoying is that my daughter sometimes road jam at Owode Center. And we live at Ikotun. For security and safety of the children, they should ensure that we build ICT centers in all the 774 local governments for each catchment, safety and security of the children.
I don't understand what you're saying. Say that again, please.
Apart from the early morning resumption, ma. People, candidates are taken from Lagos
long distance away from their homes. I see what you're saying. Okay.
To go right at Abeokuta.
Yes. Oh gosh. Yes.
How can I live at Ikotu, Lagos?
Yes.
Go and write jam at Abeokuta.
Indeed.
What's the safety of my child? Security. Then you want me to be there by 6:30?
Thank you very much. I get your point.
Who does that? Can children? Can they do that?
Exactly.
Can Tinubu children do that?
Exactly. Thank you.
What a shame. What a country.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. My name is Brad CA from Ikotu.
Okay. Thank you, brother CA. Alex, I hope you're hearing that. I'll be with you in a second. Hello.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Thank you for the engaging discussion on the JAMB issue. But I think that the professor has been modest enough to have come out and apologize publicly to Nigerians. There's nobody that is above mystic, and we must commend him for that. There's no need going to crucify somebody who have been apologetic openly and say we are going to correct. He wouldn't have deliberately allowed this to happen as a professor. However, I think that as Nigerians, that we should channel this kind of energy to discussing the insecurity that has...
Well, sir. No. Let's not go there. We are talking about JAM right now. We're talking security. We park that. That's not what we're talking right now. We are talking about JAM. No. I'm sorry, sir. I'll have to cut you off at that point. Look, do not call and tell people and tell parents and students that, they should channel their energy somewhere else when this is a burning issue. my good God, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. Nigeria is a multi-layered country with multi-layered issues. Right now, on this Danfo conversation, this is what we're talking about. So, sir, I hear you, your opinion, and it's an interesting one that, Oloyede has done what needs to be done. Alex, are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Right.
With you.
I can see you're talking to somebody else. So how do I know that you're with me? I need your full concentration. This is, after all, we are broadcasting live on YouTube and everybody is watching you.
Okay.
Yeah. So before we went on break, one of my listeners said that, Jam and Professor Oloyede, he's been praised in the past for saving money for Jam. And it's curious because that listener, whose name I've forgotten now, actually is a segue to one of my questions, which I think is critical. Professor Oloyede has been praised for actually saving the government millions and millions of naira. But Jam is a cost center, not a profit center. Isn't that so?
I think the whole idea of saving the government money is completely wrong. JAMB is an assessment center. It has nothing to do with, money, even if it makes money should never be discussed. It's just like saying, IDOT or GCE are making money for the government. This is absolutely wrong. I don't know who made that communication. That is just so.
But this is the thing, but that is part of, in actual fact, it is the main thing that Professor Oloyede is praised for. He is praised for, saving the government money and everything. And I remembered you mentioned earlier about quality assurance, quality control. It led me, certainly before today, I kept asking, because again, I'm putting on my project director brain and I'm like, okay, were you busy saving money, therefore cutting on quality? Because this vendor, could it be that the vendor has been pushed to a point where they're saying, you know what, we're going to push you to the lowest cost, right? And therefore the vendor wanting the job has now given you lower quality because that's what you're paying for. Could that be the case?
I think the fundamental problem is this. I don't even know how these vendors were picked. You are running an examination that has 2 million children. In a year, you run probably like 2.5 to 3 million children every single year, concurrent examination.
Wow.
We have different organizations who have history of capacity.
Yeah.
That you should have worked with. So working with people who are using those large amounts of data for trials and errors and experiments is something that I don't agree with. I don't even know how those people were selected. I don't know the experience level that were chosen. I don't even know how even the internal processes were constantly being vetted, right? So there are so many suspicions for me. Maybe their core engineers have traveled abroad. New engineers are there experimenting. There are a lot of possible things that can go wrong. But the point is, we have credible people. For instance, if you want to run anything that has to do with mass government payment, working with companies like MoneyPoint looks like something that should work because you have seen these people run mass payments over the years, right? And they have the capacity because this alone has a lot to do with capacity, right? Now, so there are organizations who has the history and capacity to do things like this.
Yeah.
I don't know these organizations. I don't even know their history. I don't know how they pick them, right? So for me, I think fundamentally, even the vendors, they actually have to change even the vendor selection process.
Absolutely. So it needs to be transparent. It needs to be transparent.
Yes, it needs to be completely transparent. And even the debate needs to be very transparent and clear. So I think foundationally, that is even where we should start. Because, we are talking about exams and issues. There are a lot of issues that still comes with JAMB. Starting from the registration process, starting from the change of course process, change of university, payments, right? You come to the examination, there are asked some questions, the answers are not showing, is blank, right? So it is not just about this one that we fortunately discovered and we ensure that this is fixed. How about the rest of the other processes? This exam doesn't need to be too stressful.
It doesn't need to be complicated.
This is an exam. Children need to write the exam in the most sane and conducive conditions. So the end-to-end process of this needs to be seamless. This is 2025 for crying out loud.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm coming to your calls right now. Hello.
Good afternoon, Shishiogi.
Good afternoon, Emmanuel. Very quickly, because I don't have much time at all.
Oh, okay. It's unfortunate what happened, the blame I will put on the prof, the registrar of JAM is not checking, the system, before putting out the results, because if he had checked, you would probably have known, if there was a glitch, and then probably apologize, before putting out those results. Everybody will know their fate. However, for those saying that he should resign, I don't think I support his resignation, Because,
why?
If we have a lot of abnormal people in a system, the seemingly normal one, or two, should be commended. We've all known how JAM has been run, over the years, before he came in, and then fantastic things he's done, in JAM. If he resigns today, we don't know who is probably going to take over. Well, what I would say is that
I need you to wrap up, Emmanuel.
If it is necessary for JAM to pay compensation, to some people
right.
or some students, I think JAM should do that, and then probably do a visit, for
Thank you.
Maybe everybody that has failed and so on. Thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you. Right. What do you think to that? What do you make of what Emmanuel suggests about JAM? Oh dear, all the calls are coming in. Compensating students.
I know that, yes, compensating students, yes, I completely agree with that one. I also agree with the fact that, yes, there is an issue, but I don't think just this incident is good enough. He's been there for probably up to 10 years or so. I don't think just this incident is enough to say he should resign.
Shouldn't there be a term limit? Why should one person continue to head an institution beyond 10 years? Isn't that part of the problem we have in Nigeria?
Based on this particular case.
Well, whether it's this case, but this case could be indicative.
Based on, if you want to base it on the length of time, yes, he shouldn't be there for that long, right? I completely agree. Based on this particular case, right, I feel that if he repeats himself even in any slight manner again, then at that point he can resign. But just at this case, I wouldn't really recommend the resignation. That's my own point on that.
Okay, hold on. Hello.
Hello, yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Rapuchukwu is my name.
Go ahead, Rapuchukwu.
Okay, well, what I have to say to the professor, registrar JAM is crying will not solve the issue. It happened, it happened. The first of all, he accepted the error, good and fine. And they've taken off the expense. That's good also. But what I want to say is a touching apology there. But let them sit up and correct whatever is the error.
Thank you.
So that such a thing will not repeat itself again. Because some children are depressed. And one student died, according to news. So it's very unfortunate. Let them sit up, correct whatever is the error, so that it doesn't repeat itself again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So here's the thing. Peeps, I don't think I can take many more calls. But I would try and fit this one in before Alex and I close. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
You snooze, you lose. Hello. Okay, you snooze, you lose. Literally, we don't have time. If your call comes in now, okay, be ready to talk. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where you calling from, please?
My name is Ireti Bakare-Yusuf. I'm calling from Lagos State.
Go ahead. Very quickly, talking to your phone.
Okay. Concerning this issue of JAM, well, my take is that the registrar shouldn't resign, because if he resigns now, if you look at it, he's not ready to take responsibility for his actions. And again, another issue is that this commencement of the exam again, the exams are about to do again. The time rate is
Okay.
it has extended the exam.
Thank you very
And
much.
because some people are already interested.
Thank you. And that was going to be one of my closing points, is that so this students, some 400,000 or so, are due to retake the exams this weekend up until next week. Is that correct?
But they have already started today.
Why? Why not give them the time to actually get over this incredibly traumatic moment?
We raised that point yesterday in a conversation. JAMB has their board, right? And they make their decisions. So I've already said to me, it's important to be able to test. This is a public institution, right? And public opinion should always matter, right? In situations like this, you should be able to know how the public feels and using the public forums and everything. So I don't know how much they were able to engage the public, but for me, writing it immediately, remarking could have been my preferred option. Writing it immediately is something I feel that it is just too sudden, right? Then they also gave the reasons of, okay, they already did every year, they have like a full calendar planning. JAMB takes their time, WAEC has their own NECO and some other exams. The closest time they can ever have is August. And August, students must have missed a lot of opportunities, which they wouldn't want to do, right? Like, for instance, NDA exam.
Yeah, but is your JAM result, is sitting or doing your WAEC results dependent on passing JAM?
No.
Exactly. So I don't understand.
No, I think these exam bodies have their schedules.
Yeah, but this is extraordinary moment. Like you rightly said, this is an extraordinary moment.
We also highlighted to them, this is an extraordinary moment, right? And in 2018, there was a point, I think NECO has to also ship their own exam, right? So the point is, we need at least 2 weeks to 1 month time for these people to get prepared psychologically and physically, right?
Thank you.
So that one, I completely don't agree with it.
And this is a thing, you know, you're right, and you did advise them, look, take the pulse of the public, and the public are saying this is too soon. And whoever is on the JAM board, but I am going to talk about the registrar, Professor Loyede, and the rest of the board, has consistently shown that they do not consider the students. 6:30 accreditation time tells you they don't consider the students, right? So like most things, like most institutions in Nigeria, every level of the process, every step of the process appears to be weaponized to actually punish, not to support and aid a good result. Does that make sense? So the customer right now are students and parents. JAM doesn't seem to care what the students and parents think. They're saying, look, you care about you want to do this, just do it this weekend or that's it. But who's going to pay the price? Because if my child was sitting this exam this weekend and failed it, I would totally understand. I mean, it's complete and utter madness, right? This
is why this particular conversation, because another thing I also noticed is that there is no crisis management system that JAM have set in place, because if there is this kind of issues occur, there probably could have been different kind of strategies that could have been pulled, and everything would look very easy and seamless, right? Crises happen. They are not void of crisis, but what is your crisis management strategy, right? So the point is, children have to be compensated, right? It is very critical. Also, these things, a lot of things are going in completely abnormal way, starting from even the issues to the way things are being handled. I feel that a lot of things should be handled a lot better. So the point is, we need to intensify this conversation so that this type of things should never happen again. And even if there is the way it should be handled should be completely different from how it was handled in 2025. So these are the things that we need to intensify in our discussion, right? We can't keep doing the same thing. I've already highlighted to them, why should children wait for 2 weeks for the results to be out? Why can't it come out immediately? This is 2025, for crying out loud. Let's improve these systems. A lot of technologies have been introduced. So these are conversations we need to have. These are experiments we need to have right? And we need to get this thing done.
Thank you. And you know what I will add to that, because I don't think we can answer any more calls. I've still got messages coming in. Somebody said, you know, good afternoon, Silgi. My opinion is that if JAM says there isn't going to be a remark and going ahead to do talk another exam, is that not wasteful? Talk about allocation of resources, money, materials, etc. I think for me, the message that I would put out there is, first and foremost, 10 years heading an institution is certainly too long, number one. Number two, this kind of issue could be indicative that 10 years is certainly too long and it's time to bring in a new broom. Of course, the old saying, new broom sweeps clean, right? So this is not even necessarily about whether you're weaponizing this moment. I think it's about inviting the professor himself and the board to do an introspection. Listen to you, Alex. Listen to the parents. And most importantly, listen to the students, because they should always come first. Alex, thank you so much. You've run out of time. I've got 1 second. Goodbye. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Be right back.
For 3 great seasons, the fans have fought with passion and fire. Their best they brought.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info.